You know what a prenup is, right? That agreement you sign before you walk down the aisle. But what happens if you're already married and then you realize, hey, we could really use one of those? Is it too late? Well, let's find out. So maybe this is you. You're asking this exact question. The wedding is in the rearview mirror, but life's throwing some new things at you financially. Did you miss the boat? Did you lose your chance to create a financial plan that works for both of you? Let's get right to the answer. And there it is. In California, the answer is technically no. I mean, it makes sense, right? You can't get a prenuptial agreement after the nuptials. But before you panic and think you're out of options, that word technically is doing some serious heavy lifting here. The real story is a lot more interesting. The solution, the real answer, is something called a postnuptial agreement. Just think of it like the prenup's slightly younger sibling. It's signed after you say I do, but it accomplishes pretty much the same goals. It's a legal contract that serves the same basic function. All right, let's dive in and really get to know the postnup. You know, a lot of people hear these terms and their mind immediately goes to planning for divorce. But that's not the whole picture. It's really about creating a clear financial roadmap for your life together, no matter what twists and turns come your way. So here's the bottom line. A postnup lets you and your spouse call the shots on how your property and your money are handled. See, without one, California has its own default rules, community property law, that automatically kick in if you divorce or if one of you passes away. A postnup lets you override those default settings and create custom rules that actually work for your specific situation. But why would a couple who's already happily married even think about getting one? Well, because life happens, right? Things change. A marriage is a long, evolving journey, and a postnup is just a tool to help you adapt to the financial shifts that pop up along the way. Let's look at some super common reasons. And you can see these are really practical, real-world scenarios. Maybe one of you gets a big inheritance and wants to make sure it stays as separate property. Or here's a big one. One of you starts a business. You'd want to protect the company and protect your spouse from any business risks. It can even be about shielding one person from the other's student loans or big credit card debt. It's all about being smart and proactive. Now, like any legal document, a postnup isn't a magic wand. It has some very clear boundaries. It's a super powerful tool, but it can't control everything. So knowing what you can and can't put in there is absolutely essential. At its core, a postnup is all about the money stuff. It can spell out exactly how you divide property and assets, who's on the hook for which debts, and you can even work out spousal support or alimony arrangements. It's also great for protecting a business or figuring out what happens to things that have a lot of sentimental value, like family heirlooms. But, and this is a big one, there are some hard and fast lines you cannot cross. A postnup has zero say over child custody or child support, period. The court always decides what's in the best interest of the children. And of course, you can't put anything illegal in there. And if the terms are seen as extremely one-sided or unfair, like if it looks like one person was forced into it, a judge will toss it out. The law has safeguards to prevent these from being used to take advantage of someone. Okay, so prenup, postnup. They sound pretty much the same, don't they? But there is one absolutely critical legal difference between them that completely changes how courts look at the whole thing. Let's break that down. Here we go, side by side. The timing is a no-brainer. One's before the wedding, one's after. But check out that second line. Once you're married, you owe each other something called a fiduciary duty. And because of that duty, courts put postnups under a much bigger microscope. to make sure everything is 100% fair and above board. So, what on earth is this fiduciary duty? Well, in the eyes of the law, it's the highest possible standard of care. It means you have a legal obligation to be completely honest, totally fair, and fully transparent about all your finances with your spouse. No hiding assets, no misleading information. This duty is exactly why postnups are held to such an incredibly high standard. So, given that really high legal standard, you can probably guess that you can't just scribble a postnup on a cocktail napkin and call it a day. To make sure it's actually legally binding in California, you have to follow a very specific checklist of requirements. Let's run through the must-haves. First, it's gotta be in writing. A verbal agreement won't cut it. Second, full financial disclosure. That means both of you have to lay all your financial cards on the table, assets, debts, everything. Third, you have to sign it voluntarily. No pressure, no threats. Fourth, and this one is huge, you both must have your own separate lawyers. And finally, you sign it in front of a notary. If you miss even one of these steps, the whole agreement could be invalid. I really want to hammer this point home about the lawyers. It is so important that it is an actual legal requirement in California. Having your own independent lawyer for each of you ensures that both of your rights are protected and that the final agreement is fair, valid, and will actually hold up in court if it's ever challenged. So there you have it. While you can't get a prenup after you're married, a postnup offers the same power to plan and protect. Just having these open, honest conversations about money can make your relationship so much stronger. And that kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. Could creating this kind of clear financial roadmap together actually secure a stronger future for your marriage?